Welcome back, my little subscribers. In this video, we're talking about the Leica Lens Lab 35mm f2 8 element, an awesome Leica replica reissue lens back in modern times.
This is the Macro Marvin channel, where he'll share his passion for photography, videography, watches, cats, cars, and much more. Enjoy and thank you for watching.
So if you've seen my previous videos, you know I am really into vintage lenses, classic looking lenses, compact lenses. This is a 35 f2 8 element that is a replica of a 1960s Leica 35 f2. That alone tells you you're gonna get a really great lens design, because this is made exactly how the original was made, and you're gonna get a very unique and vintage look to it. And as you can see in these images, there is a lot of warmth. Yes, they're edited, but you are getting a classic rendering, bokeh, and just that vintage look that you would expect from a Leica lens from this era. The awesome thing is that these are being made today, and I mean, you don't have to deal with what you usually have to deal with a vintage lens, worrying about fungus, mold, haze, mechanical issues. Like, this is a brand new lens that you can buy right now and enjoy a vintage look. Now, there are a couple things I want to flag about this lens. Overall, I'm going to tell you up front, I did enjoy the lens. It was fun to use. I felt like I did definitely see that vintage vibe, because I've shot with several vintage lenses from Leica, from Minolta, from Nikon, Canon FD. I've shot with a lot of lenses, and this one did give me that vintage vibe. So I was very happy to see that vintage vibe, that glow with the highlights. But there are some things you need to know about this lens. First of all, if you're looking at my samples right now, you're gonna notice there is tons of flare. Now, that's gonna go pro or con for you, depending on where you're at with your taste of lenses. If that bothers you, this is not the lens for you, because as you can see, there are some crazy flares going on when light hits this lens from different directions. Sometimes I got a rainbow, sometimes I got 4 to 5 flares, sometimes I just got vignetting. This is a lens full of character. It's not perfect, and it wasn't intended to be made perfect, although it is delivering really nice image quality. Now, saying that aside, if you do like flare, I would say the more I use this lens, as much as it was enjoyable to use for photo, it didn't stand out as much to me, because sometimes flares could be a bit too distracting, and I felt like sometimes they were too distracting. But for video, that is a different area. You can see this sample right now. This is shot on the SL2. We got Cinema 4K. There is a very cinematic quality to this lens. So if you're planning on using it for like a video purpose, I ended up leaning more towards that, to be honest. As much as I love the photos, I really enjoyed imagining using this lens for video production, whether it's for myself on the YouTube stuff, or just like a cinematic vlog or cinematic portrait shot thing. You're getting a lot of character and a certain style that usually people are trying to add after the fact. Like, whether it be those flares, those blooming effects, the halations, you're getting that right out of the box with this lens. You can cancel that out more when you stop down, obviously, but again, you're stopping down, you're gonna lose some of the depth, obviously, and you're gonna also lose a lot of the character once you get to like f4. Now, one thing I do want to say, if you're considering it for video, if you like what you see, I would say it would be a challenge, because it's so small. The filter thread is so small. You would have to see if you can find an ND that fits this. I haven't honestly looked for one, because I think it's really small, but it would be worth getting one, and it might actually mess with the flares or intensify the flares. So that's something I didn't get to test, but I'm curious to know where this could be used in applications for video. Now, if you are a die-hard fan of flares and character, and you don't care how many flares are in there, this is the perfect lens for you, because I honestly have never had a lens that has this much flare. So if you're looking for that, and you're looking for that Leica look without spending the Leica money for something like this that is rare or very expensive a lot of times, which is great that Light Lens is focusing on those type of lenses, this is the lens for you. And the price may be steep if you don't love it truly, because this lens is like 800. Actually, I don't even think you can find it for 800. It's 900 to 1,300 depending on the version you find, or if you can find one used. That's a lot of money to put on a manual focus lens if you don't truly love the look. This isn't like just a casual 1000 you're gonna throw and just have it in your bag or in your desk, just waiting to be used. Like, you'll want to use it if you're committed to spending that much money on a lens like this. Considering how much Leica lenses are, I mean, that it's a big difference. And yes, it is a deal if you see it from that perspective, but from my perspective of wanting to use gear and not just have it sit there, I would much rather spend 1,000 on something else if I know I'm not going to use it truly. Now, I'm not going to say I don't love shots like these, but I could see the flares being an issue for myself. I don't think I would love it as much on every single shot. So for that reason, my personal opinion is leaning towards not keeping this lens, but I can definitely see the appeal. And honestly, if this lens was cheaper, I think it would be an easier decision for me to just keep it in the bag in case I want this look. But if you're someone who really loves this look, it's awesome to think about it, not just for photo, but also for video. That might make this lens worth it for you, paying about $1,000. So I hope you enjoyed the samples. This time I didn't want to do so much talking head. I just wanted to show you what I got, show you the video quality. If you're wondering, these videos are graded, first of all, with the standard L log to 709 classic LUT from Leica, and then tweaked from there. I didn't do much with the colors, anything. I wanted to keep it as straightforward as I could so that I didn't intensify the effects too much, and that you can see for yourself how much is actually being impacted. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.